There are perhaps only a select few games that have not only managed to stay relevant over the course of multiple decades, but also actually thrive throughout their lifetime, and the Mortal Kombat series belongs to this category of releases. Spanning 2 developer changes and over a dozen entries in the franchise, the Mortal Kombat lore features multiple timelines that allow for complex character arcs as they continue to evolve alongside each passing release. With this feature, we'll be looking at the evolution of Smoke from his original appearance in Mortal Kombat 2 to all the way in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 1 reboot. We'll also be discussing how his fighting style has changed with each entry, and what to expect from his latest rendition in Mortal Kombat 1 2023. Please note that we will only be considering the canon games for the purposes of this feature. And with all that out of the way, let's begin. Smoke, also known as Tomas Vrbada, made his first appearance in Mortal Kombat 2 as a secret boss fight. Players need to execute an uppercut attack on the opponent during the red portal stage to access this fight, which gives us a first glimpse at this now iconic character. Smoke shares the same character sprite as Sub-Zero, which is understandable since both of these characters belong to the same Lin Kuei clan. Smoke also dons the same armor as Sub-Zero, except that it is gray instead of blue, and as expected, is fuming with literal smoke. Smoke would end up making a return in Mortal Kombat 3, sporting a markedly different appearance than before. The Lin Kuei ninja was turned into a cyborg as part of the Grandmaster's cyber initiative, and we get to see a mechanical mask that completely covers his face. The armor is more robust than before, featuring a solid chest plate and sturdy gloves, giving him more of a mechanical feel to his look. Just like in Mortal Kombat 2, Smoke has thick fumes jutting out from his skin, and attacking opponents causes these fumes to morph into different shapes. It all looks rather primitive by modern standards, but it was definitely impressive for its time. The silver overalls have also been replaced by a generous use of purple in the body armor, and there's also a sort of wired ponytail hanging from the top of his headpiece, which rounds out this new look for the character. Smoke would then go on to be missing in Mortal Kombat 4 and Deadly Alliance, and would return during the events of Mortal Kombat Deception as Noob Smoke, but eventually they will be separate playable characters in Armageddon. The difference in Deception is a result of an alliance between Noob Saibot and Smoke. Smoke retains the cybernetic elements of his MK3 appearance. There are 2 costumes for the very same character model, and let's look at them one by one. The first one features a square-shaped helmet with pipes that connect the helmet to the back of the armor. The body armor is also bulkier and completely covers Smoke's body, which gives him a menacing look. The color palette used for this costume is a mixture of gray and blue, but compared to its previous iterations, it felt rather full in our opinion. Moving over to the second costume, Noob's smoke helmet snugly fits his face and has sharp corners that diverge around the center and converge around the corners, and the eyes have a brighter red hue that gives a sort of devilish vibe to the model. Smoke doesn't have heavy armor in this costume and instead dons a light robe on the torso and pants with chainmail protection. But something is different here, with Smoke's fumes jutting out from his visible body. The fumes are so dense to a point that it feels that this entire skin is composed of smoke. This version of Smoke might just be the fiercest one to date, and it's all thanks to that imposing mask and transparent skin. Raid resets the timeline in Armageddon, which kickstarts the events of Mortal Kombat 2011, and Smoke is seen in his regular Lin Kuei outfit. This time, however, he doesn't wear a head cover, which enables us to get a good look at his hair. Smoke flaunts silver-colored hair, which looks pretty fitting for his character. But the hairstyle itself has proven to be divisive among fans. The armor now has protective planting alongside bands for hands and feet. It retains the same minimalist original visual of the character, but it looks a lot better thanks to the game being developed for a new generation of consoles, namely the PS3 and Xbox 360. Mortal Kombat X's story largely continues without the involvements of Smoke, though we do see him getting revived as a Quan Chi Revenant, following which he introduces himself as Anenra. For the uninitiated, Anenra was the beast that was a major source of power for Smoke's abilities. His appearance as a Revenant is largely similar to the one that we see in Mortal Kombat 2011, but his eyes have a golden hue, indicating that he is under the control of someone. We can also see the same hues in the veins of his arms, which rounds up this new look for the character. Now we come over to Mortal Kombat 1 2023, where we see yet another updated version of this character. Smoke now has shorter gray hair compared to his 2011 look. His weapon of choice is a combat knife with a curved edge. This new version of Smoke has minimal armor on his body and instead dons a simple ninja outfit with simple stripes. Unlike prior renditions of the character, MK1 2023 Smoke doesn't have smoke trails jutting out from his body, which makes it a fresh look for this character. Moving over to his combat abilities, Smoke is a ninja who can transform his body into smoke, and uses that element to his advantage to take down opponents with ease. He is a swift fighter, and his moveset has also evolved considerably throughout his appearance in the franchise. The character had a simple set of moves in MK2, which were mostly borrowed from other characters, which is understandable since the character wasn't playable in the first place, and he was just a palette swap of Sub-Zero. His cyborg form in MK3 enabled the developers to take more creative liberties and add more abilities to his toolbox, including, but not limited to, new fatalities like Killer Harpoon, which helped carve out a distinct identity for the character. With Deception, Smoke utilized a mixture of Mitsu combat arts for his basic kicks and sweeps, and Judo for grabs alongside new special moves such as Robo Punch and Smoky Cut. Jump over to Armageddon, we get a moveset that expands on what came before. Smoke still uses Mitsu for his basic attacks, but he now has a lot more moves under his belt that make him a deadly warrior, including, but not limited to, Rib Slap and Spinning Pain. The story remains the same for his Judo moves, where we get to see new moves such as Shinny Kicks and Kick Toss, making him a much more competent fighter than prior renditions. Mortal Kombat 2011 introduced new move types like Fast Tags, which include attacks like Ashes to Ashes and Dust to Dust, alongside combo tags. He also has an X-ray attack in the form of Burnout, which starts with a suplex that crushes the opponent's skull and is quickly followed by a brutal kick that cracks it even further. His finishes, like Smoked Out, utilizes his control over smoke to take down opponents in gruesome ways. Jumping over to the upcoming Mortal Kombat, Smoke uses a Karambit as his primary weapon. As such, his basic moves include a variety of slashes and stabs. Smoke is a master of the weapon he wields, and he can even turn his knife into a sort of boomerang that stabs its target from afar before returning back to its rightful owner. In addition to this, Smoke can also teleport around opponents using his abilities, which can be chained with his knife attacks to unleash some deadly damage to the opponents. His Fatal Blow is also updated as he uses his knife to finish his opponents in a bloody fashion. All in all, Smoke's fighting style in Mortal Kombat 1 2023 should prove to be a fresh change of pace for veterans of this long-running character. Mortal Kombat 1 releases on the 14th of September 2023 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. We'll be covering a lot more about the game when it releases, so stay tuned until then. In the meantime, what are your thoughts on Smoke? Which Smoke design was your favorite? Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Vault upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.